I managed to share screen. Okay. So a recent survey shows that 36% of Americans this year do not feel like celebrating the holiday. And this is due to the feeling of grief and loss, which, if we think about it, it's a little bit disheartening because people are not feeling so great. And usually the celebrations and things help people feel better. But the fact right now is there is a grief pandemic. There has been a grief pandemic before even the COVID-19 pandemic, and things are just significant, in fact, impacting people even more significantly now. So the question is, what can you do now and beyond the holiday? You deserve to feel at ease and joyful during the holidays and also at any time during the year. And we all deserve to be able to thrive regardless of what's going on in your life. So I'm Birgit Tan, and my native language is Indonesian. As you might have already noticed, I speak with an accent. So much so that when I say thrive, it might sound die to you. But I mean thrive. So please lean in and listen closely, the way you would have been being in person. Also, please keep your eyes on me to make sure that you see me doing a hand job later on. Yes, you heard it right. We will be doing a proper hand job. And please stay until the end so you'll find out how to receive additional resource and your complimentary gifts. I am a certified grief specialist, certified life success coach, global speaker, international best-selling author with background as a veterinarian medical oncologist. After successfully built and revived 3 multi-million-dollar businesses, each in under 2 years, despite limitation and restrictions, and a number of losses and adversities in life, I discovered the secret between success and peace of mind. Today, professionals and companies hire me to move beyond grief because most are stuck in loss or crisis, ineffectively navigating change and failing to transform the vicious cycle of grief. So I help them ignite positive momentum, let go of obstacles, and establish simple, practical systems to create results beyond their own expectation. Most have no clue how to ignite positive momentum or let go of obstacles, never mind creating a simple, profitable system that is also a win for all. And this perpetuates loss and lack of peace of mind. And many people are stretched too thin, lacking direction, clarity, and the proper support structures to sustain momentum, to grow and stay strong in an ever-changing world. Some of us have health, relationship, or internal challenges. Still, you deserve to thrive, stop settling for less, and increase your profit even in face of adversities. Now more than ever, you need to create results beyond your own expectation by embracing the inside game. So today, I'm going to provide you with proven, simple, highly effective tool that will help you confidently navigate the inner game and the outer adversities in your life and business. You will know how to easily manage day-to-day conflict changes, external expectations during the holiday and beyond. This will be an evergreen tools for you that will be beneficial as you go through the holiday and beyond the holiday, because we deserve to thrive the whole year, not just during the holiday. And you will feel confident navigating all challenges from holidays beyond the holiday. And as a result, you will have more time, more energy, and more productivity while also feeling more at ease. And so to start with, we want to understand what is grief. What is grief? Grief is not only from death, divorce, dire diagnosis, or job loss. There are more than 40 different causes of grief. Now, grief by definitions actually is the unsettling feelings caused by a change in your familiar routine. So, or by hope unmet. So what do I mean by hope unmet or a change in your familiar routine? Hope unmet could be you are not able to have a normal gathering during the holiday because of restrictions out there, or perhaps some people have different conditions that allow you to that cause you to not able to have normal gathering. Hope unmet could be changes in your life, changes in your work that is not the way that you would love for it to be. Hope unmet could be somebody leave, whether to different locations or physically leave this world. And hope unmet could be any of those. And so anything that's hope unmet could cause us to grieve. And then the grief also caused by a change in your familiar routine. Let me just ask you this. Have you experienced any change recently? Do you even still have a familiar routine lately? And all this, the hope unmet, grief from hope unmet, grief from changes. During the holiday time, these are in addition to the pre-existing grief that tends to resurface during holidays. We know that when somebody has a loss in the past, whether that past is a month ago, 10 years ago, or 30 years ago, holidays, special days, such as birthday, anniversary holidays, can cause those grief to resurface. And so we have that in addition to the ongoing grief from all the changes and the hope unmet that we have, particularly recently. And then the other part of the whole thing that make it even more challenging for everybody is many times it doesn't feel like grief to you. And I got it. Many times we feel something different but sadness. And the thing with grief is grief does not always shows up as sadness. Actually, a lot of time when the grief is caused by anything but a loss of somebody, what we feel is not sadness. We might feel anger. We might feel frustrations. We might feel overwhelmed. We might feel a lot of different things, but sadness. And actually, even when the grief is caused by a loss of someone, of a loved one, many times we have all this other feeling. We might feel apathy. We might feel we might notice the inability to enjoy things. So in other words, you do things that used to bring you enjoyment, and now you just feel blah. You just feel empty. And those could be from grief. And grief could also oftentimes actually disguise itself in physical symptoms. The grief often shows up as something in terms of change in your bodily routine, change in your routine in general, unexplainable ache and pain, and all these other things that make us as a society first not realizing that we are grieving, and then once we do realize, then we also don't know what to do. So the question is, of course, what can you do? What can you do now that you might notice that you or a loved one or your clients or your colleagues might be grieving? Well, that is when we come to the solutions of this. And that's when I created the 5 fingers method. What I do is I have simplified and streamlined the myriads of tools and skills out there into 5 key points. Each correlates with one of your fingers. And these free reminders, your fingers or your toes, will allow you to feel more at ease as you face challenges from the holiday, from life day to day, and throughout the year. So what are the 5 fingers? Well, the first fingers, your thumb. Your thumb is to remind you for a 2 thumbs up, for 2 thumbs up. And what's 2 thumbs up? The first 2 thumbs up is to allow. What are you allowing? To allow yourself to be you. Dr. Viktor Frankl says that an abnormal behavior in an abnormal circumstance is normal behavior. So when you are going through things, it is a 2 thumbs up, smart, courageous move to allow yourself time to grieve and cry. Yes, crying can make us feel vulnerable, but studies shows that your tears carry in them substances that will allow you to recover easier and better. So allow yourself to be abnormal if the situation is not normal. That is actually a normal behavior, a 2 thumbs up, smart, courageous move to allowing yourself, if you feel like screaming, go scream safely. If you feel like crying, if you do not feel like going partying this year, don't do it. Just allow yourself to be you. That's a 2 thumbs, the first 2 thumbs up, which is to allow. And the other part of the 2 thumbs up is to focus on the good. What good? First of all, is what is the outcome that you would want? What is the outcome that you would love from this holiday? Perhaps that you'll be able to feel more at ease and more at peace. That perhaps that you will be able to still celebrate in the way that feels good for you and your loved one as well. Perhaps that after the holiday, you will be able to have a result that you would love. What is the outcome that you would love from this? And then and what's the 2 thumbs up outcome? And then to also allow yourself to express gratitude on things that is still 2 thumbs up. So for instance, perhaps you have a lot of things in your life that you don't particularly care about right now, and the holiday is going the way you don't feel like to, but what is still 2 thumbs up? Perhaps the fact that you have clothing to wear, or maybe even the luxury of being able to have electricity and to be able to listen, to attend, or at least listen to these presentations, to be able to watch things with having electricity and the internet connection, such that you'll be able to watch things and learn tools and tips that's useful for you. So what are things that still 2 thumbs up? The first fingers, your thumbs, allow yourself to make the 2 thumbs up, smart, courageous move of allowing you to be you and noticing what you're feeling, and then to focus on the outcome you want while feeling and expressing gratitude on what's still good. And then with that, with you focusing on the outcome and and what you can feel grateful for, we go to your second finger and have you push the button. And what button would you pushing? Your second finger is to remind you to push the button. And the first button is now, with that feeling that there are something to still be grateful for, and with you in mind, your mind focus. So your pointer fingers help you to remind you to focus what's in your mind. You push the do button. Push the do button on what is it that you are able to do at this moment for what it is that you would want. And there are many do's and don'ts tips online, on the internet, everywhere around this holiday time on you should do this and you should do that, and don't do this and don't do that if you are grieving. And there's many of them are awesome tips. And we're not going to go through a list of 60 of them in the time that we have, but the bottom line to what for the purpose of holiday grief, navigating grief in general, and also holiday grief, a couple key points. First is to create a routine. Create a routine as much as you can. Even if your whole schedule, the whole day is upside down, perhaps there's 1 or 2 morning and evening routine that you are able to do, and that will allow your nervous system to relax a little bit. And then the other thing that I find very helpful for all my clients is to simplify as much as you can, to simplify everything that you are doing as much as you can. And as you are able to simplify, you know, if you're giving a gift, try to make it simple and not have complicated wrapping that you can get frustrated or something like that. Just simplify as much as you can. This is with holidays and beyond in your life. And then to also do what you feel called to do, what your heart called you to do, and to make it as easy for you as possible. So even if, let's say, you decide you want to host a party because you feel like doing that, then you can do it in such a way that you feel good and as simple and as easy. Perhaps instead of you doing the whole cooking, you simply say, hey, how about if we do potluck this time? Or something in the vicinity of, you know, like instead of having a million dishes, invest in a small amount in those pretty paper plates and disposable silverware and things like that. And so you'll have a lot more time for yourself to do the 2 thumbs up, which is allowing you to be you. And so do that. And then the other thing that your pointer finger for is to press the pause button. So the first thing is press the do button on what it is that you feel like. And then there are times with all of us, there are just times when we feel that we're going down the rabbit hole of overwhelm, or we're very upset, or we got suddenly very depressed, or anything. And if you feel that you are derailed, going down this rabbit hole to where you would not want to be, then you want to press the pause button. Yes, we all have internal pause button before you hit the bottom. And so what are the internal pause button? The internal pause button is you take a deep breath, and then you have one finger here, put it in between your eyebrow, and then another hand over your heart. So a hand over your heart here, and then a finger here in between your eyebrow, and you just gently, very gently press them as you breathe in and out, and breathe in and out. And you can do that for a minute even, and that will help you to feel more at ease. And you alternatively, if you besides doing that, you could also do a different technique which is also your internal pause button. And this is, by the way, the second technique. This technique works for people, also for pets. If you ever have your pet stressing out, perhaps because of the storm or something, you can cautiously do this. But for yourself, you can take both pointer finger, both pointer finger, tongue twister, and put it gently on your eye here. Put it gently on your eye, in the middle of your eye. Close your eyes, and then just well, you can do a slight massage, doesn't matter which direction, or just very slight tap. Very slight tap. Now, if you wear a lot of makeup and a party, remember your makeup, right? For the ladies. But otherwise, you can do this very slightly, just a slight tap, and breathe. Deep inhale and exhale. You can do this if, let's say, you're going to the party and you're just kind of feeling overwhelmed. You can do either of these in the bathroom. Go to the bathroom And do this. You can imagine how many times I've done this in my life, just going, okay, as I'm in the bathroom. So you can do this anywhere, anytime, right before you walk out of your car, right when you walk back in your car or something if you drive. So that is that when you start feeling like you're derailing into the rabbit hole of where you don't want to be, those are your pause button. Do that as you taking deep inhale and exhale as well. And talking about feelings, the other thing that you want to remember as you move through your day during the holiday and beyond, to know that your feelings are like your fingerprints, and that's the other things your pointer fingers to help you remind. This is the finger we most commonly use when we're doing fingerprint and when we're feeling and touching things. So your feelings and you are like your fingerprints, meant to be unique. Just like you have different fingerprint combinations than every other people, and each of your finger has different fingerprint combinations. That we are all meant to be unique, and our feelings are meant to be different moment to moment. So allow your feelings, to allow you to be you, and do not let anyone point finger at you and tell you what to feel and make you doubt if you are any good. Don't allow anybody to do that. Know that your feelings are feelings. Feel that just like there are no right or wrong fingerprints, there are no right or wrong feelings. Feelings are feelings. It's not right feelings or the wrong feelings or what have you. Just simply embrace them moment to moment. You might notice your feelings change moment to moment, even in the same scenario. Just embrace them. And talking about feelings, that takes us to your third finger, your middle finger. Well familiar with this gesture, whether driving on the highway or facing great adversities. And I knew this all too real when in just 2 years, I experienced divorce, death of loved ones, financial loss, and cancer. And my middle finger come in very handy when I found myself in despair, angry, and anxious, and depressed with no other outlet. So not only was I waving my middle finger, I was dropping the F-bombs left and right. And that is actually a good thing to do. So yes, your middle finger is to give you, to remind you, to give yourself the permissions to drop the F-bombs. If it is something that is serving you, now do that safely, of course, do that safely, but you want to express your feelings. You don't want to stuff it in, because when you stuff your feelings in, then it just mutate into something else. As we see earlier, it causes back pain, hip pain, migraine, you name it. And or it transforms into a different form of feelings. You suddenly find yourself very snappy for no reasons, wonder why, become very irritable, which I'm sure none of us ever been irritable, right? And so express your feeling. Your middle finger is to remind you to drop the F-bomb safely if you ever feel the need to do that. And you do that so you can stay fantastic. So you can stay fantastic. Know that you are fantastic. As we mentioned briefly, don't let anyone point their finger at you and make you doubt if you are fantastic. You are. Many times when we have things going on in our life, we feel that there is something wrong with us. There is nothing wrong with you. Often, when our heart is broken, we feel that we are broken. You are not broken. You are whole and courageous and awesome and fantastically unique. So if there are things bothering you, simply express it and then move on. Let it go. Forgive. Forgive others now and forgive yourself. Now, before you tune me out because you don't feel like forgiving, know that forgiving has absolutely nothing to do with agreeing or approving. Forgiving simply is letting go of your guilt or grudge about yourself or others on something that has already happened in the past. Forgiving is letting go of your imprisoning wish that thing happens differently. So forgive. So you are free to move forward from things that's going on. And so you are not being ridden and dragged down by guilt. You want to forgive yourself as well, even if you feel that you could have done something so much better back in the day on something that you did not do the way you want to do. Know this, just like your finger and my finger, everyone finger are not perfect. You are not perfect and not meant to be perfect. Look at your hands, my hands. Nobody says perfect hands or fingers. So none of us are meant to be perfect. And so just forgive and know that forgiving, we're never done with forgiving. As long as we're alive, we have new things that we do. People do things that they do. And so what we want to do is to remember, as Alexander Pope, the British poet says, to err is human, to forgive divine. Let go things that's not worth the increase in your blood pressure. So you will stay fantastic. So let go of the guilt of you thinking that you could have done something even more perfectly. The point is you did the best you could. And how do we know? Because in general, humans every time try to do the best they could. Looking back, we might say we could have done things differently, that you could have done this or that, or you could have did a visit on that particular holiday that you missed or something like that, but really you've done the best you could. So forgive so you can stay fantastic. And when you are feeling fantastic, you actually will be able to share that with others, which takes us to your fourth finger. Your fourth finger is to remind you to LOL. What is LOL? Anybody want to type it in? Exactly. Well, one of the LOL is laugh out loud. Now, knowing that you are fantastic, then what we want to do is we want to go to the fourth finger. And this is the finger most commonly used when we do for us to put things that express love, like wedding rings or friendship rings. So in addition to laugh out loud, the LOL on your fourth finger is to remind you to love out loud, to love out loud. So you want to share your laughter and your love with others. And many studies shows that laughter and having fun actually help you tolerate pain better. And so you'll be able to continue moving forward toward the outcome, the 2 thumbs up outcome that you want. So share your laughter and find something funny and something you can laugh about for yourself as well. And also share your love, express, celebrate, and share your love to somebody else. Tell them that you care about them. Tell that and tell people in your life that you care, that you love them. And to remember that knowing that everything is an inside out in this life, if you're feeling grumpy, it will be really challenging for you to genuinely be sharing laughter and love. You want to take care of yourself as well, which is the most important persons for you to take care, because when you are well, then you'll be able to take care of others. So LOL is to remind you to love out loud, but also to take care of yourself. If you to love yourself, if you feel like, say, celebrating with loved one, then do that. But if you don't, then don't do that. If you feel like you are in great spirit and you have the energy and want to cheers everybody and yourself up, then you can do things like find free fun card. There's a lot of e-card on the internet, that you can start sending them, and then and maybe perhaps even funny ones, and then you'll be lifting up somebody else's mood as well as your mood. And at the same times, if that's not something that you feel like up on doing, then don't do that. And if you feel that you are having a tough time, to allow support. Many people don't know that allowing support is actually an expression of love from you to your loved one. It's an expression of love and honor from you to your loved one when you ask for and allow support if it is something that you might be able to benefit from. Now you might say, how is that possible? Think about this. If you love somebody, think about somebody you love, whether it's perhaps a family member, a friend, or even a pet. Would you want these persons or this pet to be doing well and feeling well? Of course you would. Your loved one, those who truly care about you, want you to be well, whether they are here in physical body or not. If they are your loved one, they want you to be well. And so when you are going through things and you are not quite sure what's going on, what to do next, with confidence and ease, then express your love and honor to your loved ones, even if you don't care so much about yourself. Sometimes we do this kind of strange thing where we're like, we're just gonna tough it up. Well, do you think your loved one really want you to just tough it up? Allow yourself to have some help. And if you need help on being able to be more at ease on how to navigate things, feel free to connect with me. My informations will be available after this. You can message me directly on my social media. You can email me. You can go to my website and make an appointment with me, or you can check out my website and social media for more resources. So if you feel you might be able to benefit yourself, give yourself the gift of being, and give your loved one the gift of allowing support, allowing yourself love. Love out loud is to love yourself in addition to loving others. And as you love others, you share your appreciations and you share all the fun thing that you have with all of them, so that you'll share your laughter and love as well. And talking about appreciation, that takes us to your fifth finger. Your little finger is to remind you to appreciate and celebrate the little things. Many times we are looking for something major to celebrate, but what if you simply appreciate the little things that your colleagues does at work? Perhaps that they put out a little cute sign or something. Then how about if you appreciate that? Perhaps somebody who you work with done something, maybe we can say it's something quite little, but it is something that is well accomplished. Perhaps somebody that one of the people, an employee that a subordinate, able to accomplish something better this time than the last time. We want to celebrate the little things, celebrate this person. And you also want to remember to appreciate and celebrate yourself for every little things, not waiting until you manage to climb up and be on the top of Mount Kilimanjaro or Mount Everest. We want to celebrate the every little steps that we have. Just think about this. If you let's say you are a baby, if you look at a baby, what do you celebrate them? Do you when they take a step by step? When a baby first born, and we all go and take a step by step, and the baby start learning to walk. What do we do when a baby from crawling to walking? At the beginning, we say, oh my goodness, baby's standing now. Yay, celebrations. And then we appreciate and celebrate the baby. And then babies get up and then they stumble and they they stumble and all these things, and then they fall down. But as adult, when that happened, we typically say, oh well, that's okay, you managed to get one step, that is super awesome, keep going. And then the next time the baby got two steps and they fall down, and then we say, oh yay, you got two steps, we're celebrating and we appreciating that's good job that you're trying, keep going. We did that to babies. But as adults, for some reason, we do things of, oh gosh, I tried this and it didn't work out. I could have just done this differently, and I'm so not meant to do this. Oh my goodness, how could I possibly spill coffee on the card that the whole office already signed, and I spilled coffee all over this? What a freaking loser I am. We do that to ourselves when we're adults. So what we want to do is to appreciate and celebrate the every little things that you have done, the little things that someone you care have done, and to allow yourself to forgive if you've done something that you feel that you could have done differently. And so that is something that what we want to be able to do. And then the other thing with the little finger is to remind us to actually to clean up the every little dissonance quickly. Sometimes we in our life, things happen, whether it's you yourself spilling coffee on things, or perhaps somebody said something that you don't particularly care and you feel a little bit offended. Sometimes when we're grieving, people say things that we don't particularly care, typically not because they are mean or anything, but many times people don't know what to say and do around grievers. And so what we want to do is to let go and to just say, you know what, these things upset me just now. And so what I feel that you could have said something differently, to clean up every little dissonance that you have with others and within yourself as soon as you possibly can, because we know that it's a lot easier to extinguish a small flicker than a California-sized fire. And then talking about people sometimes don't know what they do or what they do or says that become offended. What would you do? What can you do if someone you know who are actually grieving? So perhaps it's a loved one, perhaps it's a colleague, perhaps it is somebody you just met that who are grieving, who are going through things, not just from everything, but really, really going through a lot of things. One thing that we can share, and there are a lot of these do's and don'ts when somebody are grieving, that are in your that's applicable for your day-to-day life as well as throughout the holiday. And we're not, for the sake of time, we're not going to be able to go through them all, but we want to, there are a couple key points. First of all, one thing for example is sometimes we do this very well-meaning thing of meeting somebody and say, hey, how are you doing? And asking how are you doing is a wonderful greetings, except if we know somebody is actually grieving. People who are grieving take that questions, they either get confused or they feel dismissed. Why? Because they think, well, don't you know how I'm doing? Don't you know I'm going through things? So you want to do something as simple as say, how are you doing today? How are you doing this afternoon? And that actually make them feel that you care about them. And then the other thing that you could do is, instead of many times when we have things going up, we have somebody having things going on in their life. If we have been through the similar things, then we might say, I know how you feel. Some of us do that, some of us don't. But know this, if you do that, most of the time, almost all grievers find that offensive. So what can you do instead? What you want to do instead is to be a heart with ears and open hands. So what is being a heart with ears and open hands? Being a heart with ears and open hands is to listen with compassion. Listen with compassion and no judgment. That is being the heart with ears and with an open hand. An open hand where if the person asks for help, if you are able to, if you're up to it, then offer help. If the persons want to talk, then be there and be present. Just listen with compassion, with love, and no judgment. But on the other hand, if the person seems to want to close down, some people, when we're grieving, we want to talk, and some people, they go and retrieve and they don't want to talk. Or some people actually, they when they are grieving, when they are with others, they start making jokes and all these things. Then just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. Don't encourage them to talk if they don't want to talk. And if they want to make funny, silly jokes, just go with the flow, open hand. And you want to do this for yourself as well. When you are facing changes and challenges, then you want to allow yourself to listen to yourself and look at what you hear, listen to what you say and look at what you do with no judgment and just a compassion, and ask for help. If you don't ask for help, people typically don't know that you need help, and or they might think you need help but worry that if they offer help you got offended. So ask for help, ask the correct kind of help, because sometimes just if we ask for help and not receiving the right help, we got hurt even more. It's just like if you got sick and you take the wrong medicine, so to say. So ask for help from professional. And if you feel that you can benefit from my help, then at the end of this seminar, feel simply message me, connect with me. And there will be information on how to reach me at the end of this workshop. But when somebody going through things, including you, be a heart with ears, with open hand. And so it's not moving. Hello. Let me see here. Okay, so that's to recap the 5 fingers method. Your thumbs, to remind you, for 2 thumbs up. Your pointer finger is to point, focus on where you want to go, to press the do button, the pause button, and remember, you and your feelings are meant to be like fingerprints. Your middle finger, it's definitely for the efforts, but also to remind you that you are fantastic and let go of things. Forgive yourself and others. And then your little finger, or your 4th finger. Your 4th finger is LOL. Share laughter, share love. Allow yourself to receive support as an expression of love for you, but also for your loved one. And your little finger is for remind you to appreciate and celebrate yourself, celebrate others, and to clear up any dissonance as quick as possible, knowing that nobody's perfect. You and I and every one of us are perfectly imperfect. And what you want to do is to practice all this in the best possible way, knowing that you might not be perfect, just everyone else is. But what you want to do is to take actions. We can learn all the things that we have learned, but if we never do them, we never apply them smartly and take the smart actions, we're not going to get anywhere. And so Jim Carrey says that you cannot desire something and then go sit on a sofa and eat a sandwich and do nothing else. You will not have the result that if you do nothing. You want to take action. You need to take actions that will allow you to be where you want to be. And if that is something that you thriving is your goal, do what you can. Do what you can right here, right now, with what you already have, allowing you to be able to move to where you want to do. And if you'd like to connect with me, if you want more information, or the letters doesn't come out right. But anyhow, if you love to have more resource, then feel free to check out my book, Seeking Peace, that goes into the 5 fingers, as well as many additional resources that we don't have time to cover, that is applicable for, it's an evergreen, it has evergreen tool for now, as well as when you are going through holidays. We talk about gratitude, and if it is a gratitude practice, something that you can benefit more, or you know someone, whether it's kids or adults, then the gratitude, my gratitude journal, one journal lasts you a whole year, and both of them are available on Amazon. And also, if you would love tips and tools on being able how to navigate things, how to interact with people who are grieving, the do's and don'ts on when someone else is grieving, simply go to my website and click on Get Your Gift Here sign. As you can see there, when you go to my website, there is a Get Your Gift Here sign. And when you do that, you will be able to download the 12 tips for do's and don'ts when someone else is grieving. What is it that you can do to help them feel better instead of offending them? And of course, feel welcome to connect with me. The appointment link is on the website. If you'd like to give yourself a complimentary laser coaching and consultations, or someone who are going through things that you know can benefit from this, feel welcome to email me as well. And this is Birgit. And I see that as you practice this, that you will be able to thrive through the holidays and in